Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our CashTelex presentation. We truly appreciate your efforts for taking the time to attend this session. My name is Mariam Abdurrahman, and I'll be your host for tonight. Our presenter tonight is a very special guest. He's a senior member as well as an early investor in CashTelex. He's a lecturer as well as a PhD student with an expertise in the field of finance. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as we welcome our presenter, who's none other than Mr. Ashraf Migade.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mariam, for the introduction. I'm delighted to be given this opportunity to share this business presentation with a group of people that are joining in today. I'm really happy and glad that I can really be able to add something within this community. Well, to start, as Mariam introduced, I am of late interested more in studying and exploring how sustainable finance, how finance can really be used to benefit a lot of people, despite a lot of things that are happening. And of course, part of my PhD journey, I have come to more and more appreciate the potential of how finance can really develop and bring up communities across Africa and of course developing countries. Today, as I go into the presentation for the day, I would like to throw more light about what and how CashTelex is really coming, where it is coming from, and of course, perhaps we can see where we're going. Normally, before you even know where you're going, you need to always look at where you're coming from. And that way you can really appreciate that the journey is really one that needs to be adhered to, one that needs to, you know, that needs endurance and perseverance along the way. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, I'm glad to inform you that CashTelex is, of course, an innovation that has been developed with clear justifications. We are coming from a background of pain. We're coming from a background of problem solving, where we are coming from a poverty, where we're coming from the need to survive on a daily basis. And we say that CashTelex is an innovation that has been designed, that has been put out there for us to be able to earn what we call a daily passive income. What do we mean by this? Ideally, many of us Africans, many of us in poor countries survive on a daily basis by merely looking for what we call daily bread. You wake up and you go work and you basically looking for what you can eat and survive, and that is the end of the day. We are most of the time looking out for an opportunity where we can really increase our income, and these opportunities are lesser and lesser and fewer by the end of the day. We're kept in what we call, or what the economists call the vicious cycle of poverty, whereby what we earn is only enough for us to, you know, make it a day and then probably tomorrow. This is what CashTelex is looking forward towards breaking. This is what we are looking for, so that we can elevate the position, so that we can provide a source of alternative daily passive income for all the community and the members of the CashTelex community. Secondly, when we come to our part of the world in the global south, we as individuals, we as citizens are charged with the responsibility of, you know, paying tuition fees, of, you know, paying our children's education. When we come to countries that have developed, the responsibility and the role of education is and lies on the shoulders of the governments, where students study for free, and it is a clear opposite of where we are. Today, as you're struggling to get what we call a daily bread, you have an additional responsibility to ensure that the children that you have produced, the kids that you have in the house, are attending school and of course are attaining a better education. We think and we gladly believe in the might and the potential of CashTelex as a project, as an innovation that can guarantee us and of course care and cater for the problems of school fees. Number three, as we continuously struggle for daily bread, as we continuously struggle to get school fees and tuition for our children, we also have to clearly look at how are we going to even retire. Before you know it, you're already clicking 60. Before you know it, you're in the 70s. And before you know it, you have no source of income. We are saying that CashTelex is designed to cater for these problems that are, of course, short-term, that are medium-term, and these are also long-term solutions. When we talk about CashTelex number 4, we also talk about access to interest-free loans. We understand that the way the economy has been designed on loans and debts, it is one way that has deeply buried the creativity, that has buried the innovativeness of course, very many young minds that cannot access credit because of course, interests. We know how these systems, the banking systems have been designed, which of course are designed, to impoverish, to siphon, to milk a lot of people with initiative, to bury them in debt so that they can, not be creative anymore. Number 5, we're looking at CashTelex as an innovation that can guarantee someone's financial security and financial freedom. What makes you wake up every now and then, every day, every night, working and toiling, is so that you can be able to guarantee some kind of financial security. With CashTelex, we are saying that all these provided, we can be secure financially and, of course, jubilate our freedom. We believe that the CashTelex ecosystem also provides access to what we call healthcare insurance. As we know, Africa and of course very many other countries in the global south are grappling with the issue of health and medical care. We believe that the CashTelex community is going to be rejoicing because of the access to healthcare insurance. The other thing is that we have an opportunity whereby we can easily access our funds anywhere in the world. As I'm a member, as I have a CashTelex account, it means I can have an account, I can have a system, I can have a platform whereby it crosses borders, where I don't have to fear that, okay, in the territory in which I am in this specific country where I have landed, I'm going to face the issue of having no money on me. Why? Because I am connected within the CashTelex ecosystem. We're asking and we're telling you that these are the whys, these are the We believe that CashTelex is a pan-African financial company running on blockchain that has been tokenized. It is an innovation that has clearly, let me know, Mariam, if my network is okay, if it's not okay, so that I can be sure that you can hear me. Is my audio still okay?
Yes, it's okay.
Perfect. So we are calling it an innovation which has been built on blockchain. And of course, when we talk about blockchain, is of course a contemporary technology which has really come out that is of course highly secure. And it, of course, this is where we have tokenization of the assets. As I have my money, as I have my investments kept within the CashTelex ecosystem, these are of course turned into assets and tokens. Why? For purposes of uplifting the stakeholders' lifestyles. How and what is this lifestyle we're talking about is what I opened up in our first slide of this presentation. So you're going to realize that within the next 3 to 5 years, CashTelex is looking forward to uplifting at least 1 million households in Africa, meaning that we would like to see these households be able to attain and, of course, earn more than at least $10 a day in terms of passive income. So by this, it means we are able to afford our food, our clothing, and of course, a decent accommodation, and of course, medical care insurance. When I look at where technologies, where innovations are coming from, when I compare where some of these innovations are coming from, and I compare these with CashTelex, this is something that has, of course, taken quite some time to be embedded within, the minds of the people. In Uganda, per se, of course, in some countries in Africa, you've heard of Payway, you've heard of MTN mobile money. These are innovations that came around and they were not popular in the beginning. Perhaps that's why CashTelex is not as popular. But at a time when people began to appreciate the convenience, people came to appreciate how fast we could, of course, move money, by the use of the telecom, which has, of course, security issues. We are saying that this is where we're also coming from. When you see people trading and moving money using M-Pesa in Kenya, Tanzania, using Safaricom, when you see people making orders via Jumia, buying via GG, looking at internet television, satellite television via DSTV. In Uganda, you have something called the Safe Border app, which is technology-based. You've heard of probably the Uber, you've heard of Sophia the robot, you've heard of the blockchain technology. This is where CashTelex is coming from. So when we are saying the innovation, when we are saying what comes in the path of CashTelex, we are looking at the same trajectory, where other innovations have come, what resistance they have faced, what misconceptions they have had, but now that they have been accepted widely, and of course the potential of these innovations to be embedded within the lifestyles of the people is so great, whereby CashTelex is headed in the same way, even much better. So where does now CashTelex get the money to give the investors? We've probably heard where I'm talking about, of course, elevating the communities, $10 in passive income, daily income. Where is now the money coming from that, of course, we can have people earning these 10 daily dollars? We are saying that we have what we call the CashTelex ecosystem. And within this CashTelex ecosystem, it is an entirely business ecosystem, which of course makes money for the people that have shares, for the community that have invested, for the community that have, of course, turned their investments into CashTelex coins or assets. Number one is the CashTelex exchange. When we talk about the exchange, we're basically talking about a platform whereby we can easily go buy and sell Forex, buy and sell our money. We're basically changing our Uganda shillings. We're basically changing our local currencies, the Naira, the dollars, and so on and so forth, into the CashTelex digital currency. And in so doing, the CashTelex ecosystem is making money of these transactions. Every sell and every buy that is happening on the exchange is contributing to money that is coming into the exchange, which is going to be shared amongst the shareholders, amongst the community of the CashTelex ecosystem. Number two, we've heard of the CashTelex cities, which is, of course, our component of the CashTelex real estate. We believe in walking the talk. We talked initially that CashTelex is asset-backed, where we have real estate, where we have land, where we have buildings, where we have cities, where we're having cities that are basically backing our CashTelex digital ecosystem. And here we are. We have a CashTelex city that has been fully booked in Uganda. And of course, people have invested in this. Where is the money coming from? All this money is coming into the system. And of course, as we're making sales of these units and apartments, all these proceeds are coming within the CashTelex community. Number three are the remittances. Perhaps you and I have sent some money from one point to another. And when we talk about sending money from one point to another, it is not something that is done by an NGO or something that is done by a non-for-profit organization. This, of course, attracts some allowances, some charges, which are now translated into income and revenues for the CashTelex ecosystem. CashTelex gold shops, which is number four, where people can easily walk, buy gold, exchange their gold, physical gold coins of the CashTelex with, of course, their money. This is another element, an aspect which makes money within the CashTelex ecosystem. When we talk about the mobile wallet, we're talking about a way and a mechanism of making payments. And of course, we've seen very many other apps that are making this possible. But when we talk about blockchain, we're saying that this is a mobile wallet on steroids, whereby we can have a guarantee of having our transactions safe and secure. We have trading options that, of course, can be used to generate more revenue, whereby traders go and trade and, of course, make money in so doing. And this is coming as proceeds within the CashTelex ecosystem. Of course, finally, is the CashTelex Go online shopping, where we have an apply, where we have an app where we can simply go and buy and sell stuff. And at the end of the day, we are having revenue coming and flowing within the ecosystem. And this is what we are saying, that people are going to be sharing these proceeds. So when we talk about the benefits of being within the CashTelex ecosystem, we're basically talking about all people from all walks of life are encouraged to come and make the investments. And of course, as we encourage them to come, someone might ask a question, but how much? And we basically tell them it's around $60. It's around 200,000 shillings, Uganda shillings. And then this can be a start whereby you can, of course, use this to be part of the CashTelex ecosystem. All this investment is then for buying tokens or shares within the CashTelex system that consequently makes you someone called a CashTelex shareholder. When we talk about the daily dividends, we're talking about the 20-80% ratio, whereby majority of what is making our revenues in the CashTelex ecosystem, the 80% is coming back to the shareholders, and of course the 20% is maintained within the system as working expenses. When we also come to another benefit is where we expect a 40% discount when you buy items using CashTelex Go. So I have a CashTelex account. Definitely I have what we call my own CashTelex money. And when I'm making my transaction using this CashTelex Go, I'm getting this stuff for, of course, around 40% discount. So we're basically encouraging all of you, encourage your friends and families to basically come and invest in CashTelex. We're guaranteed of our financial freedom with the CashTelex coin, the CTLX gold backing strategy, and of course the CashTelex dividend system. We call this digital coin as Africa's first asset-backed native coin, where we're going to be able to buy and sell CTLX, where we're going to be able to buy and sell even other cryptocurrencies in Africa at the best rates. We're going to be able to use this wallet to be able to move our money, transact, send money from various places all over the world. We're going to be able to enjoy all these benefits. But how do I take part? We're basically encouraging you to have your own valid national ID or driver's license or even the passport, and of course a functional email address, and of course your investment. And this is done. By the end of it all, as you use your $60 to join the CashTelex community, you have become a shareholder. This is where we get some few questions so that we can be able to encourage to interact with you and get to know more about what you think and what you might need in terms of understanding more about CashTelex. I'd like to thank you, Mariam, again for hosting me tonight. And I'm glad that I've been part of those people that have been invited to come and share their experiences and give this business presentation to the CashTelex community at large. Thank you very much.
I would like to thank our presenter, Mr. Ashraf Migade, for the wonderful presentation. And I would like to thank our audience as well for taking the time to attend this session. I believe we have learned a lot from this presentation. So thank you everyone for attending, and have a blessed night.